Hello everybody, my name is Ray. Welcome to the Evangelical Dark Web. Today we're going to be discussing Saddleback Church, how they have taken actionable steps to scrub evidence from the internet that they are pro-homosexuality. I think this is a very interesting story. It's a follow-up on our previous reporting because in early February I reported, Evangelical Dark Web reported, and a bunch of other websites. The Center, I believe, was the first to break this story that Saddleback Church had these grooming groups where, they would encourage parents to support their children in homosexuality and transgenderism. They would basically encourage parents to be affirming. So that's what they had at Saddleback Church. This pastor named Chris Clark was presumably the leader of that group at Saddleback Church. However, that's an assumption made from the other partner website, from the resources that they were using, that Saddleback Church was using. However, Saddleback Church has taken actionable steps to remove this evidence from their website and other websites as well. So we're going to be talking about that as well. And it's also important to note that Saddleback Church has been disfellowshipped from the Southern Baptist Convention because they have ordained female pastors and did so brazenly. There's a lot of Southern Baptist churches that have female pastors just under a different title, but Saddleback Church wanted to come out in the open with it, and that actually earned them a disfellowship because it was so brazen. Saddleback Church, via Rick Warren, has announced his intentions to appeal this decision, which will go before the messengers, presumably during a business session at the annual Southern Baptist Convention of 2023, which occurs next month in New Orleans. So with that said, the erasure of evidence that this church is pro-homosexuality from the internet, although the internet is forever and this was well documented at the time, so they're not really going to get away with it, is quite suspicious. So let's dive into this story. But first, I want to let you know Evangelical Dark Web is a Christian news gathering and commentary ministry. You can support us over at our Patreon-like system at evangelicaldarkweb.org/join. But the least you can do is like this video or subscribe to this podcast and channel if you are new. That's the least you can do. Also, check out the Evangelical Dark Web newsletter that gets you Christian news in your inbox each and every day, bypassing big tech censorship. So with that said, let's just head on over to this article that I wrote. Saddleback Church scrubs gay grooming group from website. In February, we reported that, among other discernment ministries, exposing Saddleback Church and their grooming groups that they had to teach parents to be supportive of their homosexual or transvestite children. Saddleback Church was the longtime church of Rick Warren and now helmed by Andy Wood. Evangelical Dark Web first exposed how Andy Wood was compromised on the issue of homosexuality shortly after it was announced that he and his wife were taking over for Rick Warren. This was in June of 2022. Amidst the revelation that Andy Stanley is indeed gay affirming, it was uncovered that a pastor at Saddleback Church, Chris Clark, has taken point on making the church pro-sodomy. Alas, it has come to our attention via Megan Basham on Twitter that these web pages have been scrubbed from Saddleback's website. So Megan Basham reported that, and she also talked about, is their pastor no longer speaking at the ETJ conference, which is the conference that we reported on previously. Because this was the original article. We talked about the Embrace the Journey conference, which has Andy Stanley speaking at it, by the way. He's still the headliner. And this is still the conference, which we'll talk about in a second. So, going back to the article, they have scrubbed this evidence from their internet. Now, Protestia has screenshots. We have the video recording of it. The internet's forever, so they're not going to get away with this. And they didn't get away with this. And the fact that they scrubbed it means we're going to report on this again. It's kind of like a Streisand effect all over again, if you ask me. So, the plot thickens. In addition to the groom groups no longer being showcased by Saddleback Church, either due to the event expiration or a cover-up, because the event has expired, presumably. It was an event that these groom groups had going on, and this took place it started February 8th, I believe, was when they were supposed to start. So this event could no longer be going on, which means they delete the web page, which I think is a common practice for Saddleback Church. However, The Unconditional Conference, in which Chris Clark was slated to speak at in September, no longer lists him as a breakout speaker. In fact, Embracing the Journey, the host of the conference, has also scrubbed Chris and his wife Eliza Clark from their website. However, this page was successfully archived, and I can show you the archived version of this. This is what it looks like now. You see the speakers: Andy Stanley, Greg and Lynn McDonald, Embracing the Journey. We've got Devi Kazi, Justin Lee, and he would have been down here in this part with among the breakout speakers. So as you can see, he's no longer here. But again, the internet is forever. This is the web page of Embracing the Journey, in which Pastor Chris and Eliza Clark were mentioned. This web page has been scrubbed, and it's a wonder why. And it lists him as a pastor at the Lake Forest location of Saddleback Church, because Saddleback Church is a multi-campus, by the way. So if you didn't know that, so the Unconditional Conference no longer has Chris Clark listed. Saddleback Church has erased the groom groups from their website. And it seems that other websites have also erased Chris Clark and his involvement in homosexual activism in the church. So this is a pretty suspicious story. I think again, the internet is forever, so they didn't get away with this. But it's a pretty suspicious story. Saddleback Church is a very shady church. You'd think they'd be more brazen about it, given how much Rick Warren loves to talk about Rick Warren, to the point where that became a meme earlier this year. But nonetheless, it's worth noting that Saddleback Church does not list staff members on their church website other than lead or campus pastors, leaving one to wonder whether he is still on staff at Saddleback Church. Saddleback Church didn't respond to comment. At least not yet. I'll provide an update if and when they do, but I'm pretty doubtful that they will, because they haven't responded to any other comments on this. So Protestia reported on this first after Megan Basham did, but Protestia didn't catch that Embracing the Journey has also scrubbed Chris Clark from speaking there this September. So I felt the need to also report on this part of the story as well. Very suspicious, but again, the point of this discernment ministry is to shine a light on the darkness. Darkness doesn't, likes to operate in the shadows. We're going to shine a light on that here at Evangelical Dark Web. So don't forget to like and subscribe if you are new. Have a blessed day. Let me know what you think about what I think in the comment section below, and we will catch you on the next one.